Lady ignored 4 calls, so I delivered 700 gallons into her living room. I deliver bulk water to people who don't have access to city water or their own private well. For nearly all customers, it's a simple process. Either they call for deliveries, or they have agreed to automatic deliveries. When I show up, I hook the truck up to the fill pipe and start pumping. I either listen at the vent or hook up to an installed alarm to know when the holding tank is full. This particular customer had their holding tank installed in a small utility room next to their living room. They didn't install a vent to the outside and refused to allow us to install an alarm. Why? They didn't want us to put a 1/4-inch hole in the wall to run the alarm wire. So the solution was simple. They call when they need 2,000 gallons of water, and we deliver exactly 2,000 gallons. This procedure worked without flaw for over a decade. Literally hundreds of deliveries with no issue. Then the owner decided to sell. We were contacted by the new owners and set them up as a new account. We headed over for our first delivery and meeting. We especially went over the issue of us being totally unable to tell when the tank is full. We offered to install the alarm again, free of charge, but they declined. So we let them know when they call for water. They must be sure they have enough room in the tank for 2,000 gallons. Or they should tell us how much water they have room for. We went over this several times and they laughed, saying they understood. They said they would be calling when they were below the 2,000-gallon mark. 2 weeks go by, and we receive a message on our answering machine from the new customer. No gallon amount is specified. This set off a warning bell because it was a household of 2, and only 2 weeks since we last filled them. That's highly abnormal. We expected more like 5 weeks between fills. So we called back to double-check. No answer, so we left a message asking for confirmation. A couple of hours later, we tried again. By the next day, we had left 4 messages asking to confirm if they were ready for a full load. No reply. Well, they did call, so my boss sent me out. I knocked on the door as a last attempt. Still no answer, so I hooked up, started the pump, and set a timer so I wouldn't overpump while reading my book. 15 minutes later, I hopped out to check the water meter. 1,700 gallons. I decided to watch for a couple more minutes and then shut it down. That's when I heard the front door burst open. The woman who bought the house and had called us in yesterday was screaming to shut the water down. There was water everywhere. "What the hell are you doing?" she shouted. This woman had been ignoring our calls and even ignored me at her door. Now she was screaming at me. Apparently, she had called when the tank was half full instead of below the mark showing where the 2,000 gallons is. She disregarded all our messages and didn't feel like talking to me when I knocked. So now, she had over 700 gallons of water in her living room. My boss was called out so she could scream at him too. Her husband came home from work and joined in yelling at us. For reasons, I guess. They made a lot of demands about how we were going to pay to fix it. Nope. My boss laid down how we saw the situation. "You can keep the water free of charge, just don't call us for water anymore. Y'all are too stupid to work with." Never heard from them again. Lol, broken heart.